Hello everyone, thanks for joining us this evening. Wanted to start with one question. Has anyone heard of Archera before? It's okay if you have not. We're new to the EMEA region, so we're excited to be talking to you today. So what we are doing is helping you guys save money on your cloud spend without any infrastructure change. So you can save up to 30% with just a click of a button. And to her previous point, automation is your friend. If you're doing things manually, you can. However, we offer free automation to automate the entire rate optimization process. So if we go in, we can dive in and give you a bit more detail into how we're doing this and how you can seamlessly integrate this into your own practice. So before we dive in, I wanted to focus a little bit on the industry pain point. So the reality of FinOps today is, according to Flexera's State of the Cloud in 2024, about 32% of the cloud has waste. And in terms of dollars, that's about $17.6 billion globally in 2024. And according to the FinOps Foundation, FinOps teams cite commitment risk is their number one blocker to achieving savings. And as you guys may know, cloud providers do offer a discounted price. However, you need to commit to 1 to 3 years to be able to achieve that. And that's a scary decision if you're a FinOps practitioner. A little background on myself, I used to be a FinOps practitioner as well. I managed a $80 million cloud budget, and I was getting pressured, why aren't you committing any dollars? And as you guys know, it's scary because if you're the person that clicked that button to make that purchase, and then in 6 months a new project or a fancy new hardware comes available and the teams need to be able to make that change, well, you're the one that made that wrong decision, right? Even though everything looked safe to do. So with Archera, we are trying to alleviate that commitment trap. And so what we are offering is a 30-day commitment. So we are partnered with AWS, Azure, and GCP. So if you're leveraging any of these clouds, you can take advantage of a 30-day commitment. And it transacts fully through the cloud provider. We are partners with them. Everything is seamless through your cost and usage report. There are no agents that need to be installed upon install. It's simply just a read-only cost and usage report, and we can surface immediate savings opportunities. With our 30-day commitment, what that means is instead of having to commit to a minimum of 1 year or 3 years, as long as you can commit to 30 days of spend in the cloud, you can get up to 30% savings discount. And the whole process can be automated if that's something you're interested in. If we can go back to the last slide. So one thing we want to kind of compare here. So with AWS, Azure, and GCP, there isn't much flexibility, right? Minimum is 1 year. At best, they say savings plans, right? However, our 30-day guaranteed reserved instance actually has similar savings to a 1 year compute savings plan with an 11-month lower lock-in period. With AWS, Azure, and GCP, you cannot modify or cancel. You're locked in. With Archera, you have protection. You can click a button, give it back after the minimum 30-day hold. Or if you turn in automation will identify you've gone underutilized, and it'll actually immediately take that off your books or rebate you back for anything that's underutilized. Another thing is savings versus on-demand is usually about 35% with the traditional RIs, like on a 1 year. With our 1 year RIs, you can actually get deeper savings. We offer about 9 to 10% higher. And we can get into that in more detail if you guys want to know how we do that. And you're no longer the risk owner. Archera becomes the risk owner. And that's probably the thing that is most important to you guys. If someone comes and says they need to make a change, it's no problem. You can go ahead, click a button, give it back to Archera, and make whatever changes you need. If we go to the next slide. And so one thing to note is Archera is not touching infrastructure. Our founders came from AWS and believe that you should not have to change infrastructure or have a downtime to be able to achieve savings. And so we are only helping you guys change the rate you pay hourly to the cloud providers. So things that we are not, we don't modify instances, we don't require agent installs, we don't require deployment pipelines or need DevOps involvement. However, they can be involved if you want. But yeah, we never touch your infrastructure. And so all you need to do is step one, plug in your cur file, read-only access. Step two, within 24 hours, your recommendations become available. We have a team of FinOps practitioners that can meet with you if you'd like, or you can just decide you want to self-service, go in the app, click a button if you see what you like, and you can build all kinds of plans. You can do a 30-day, a 1-year, a 3-year. You can get very diverse and say, all right, maybe production gets a 1-year, but maybe test dev gets a 30-day. Maybe you have a short-term GPU project, right? That's not going to be running full-time. You can get that on a 30-day commitment with our views and get very prescriptive there. And you'll start saving money instantly within 24 hours. And again, the risk is ours, not yours. So taking a look at the savings breakdown here, so you can see with the Archera 1-year GRI, you actually can get about a 45% savings rate. With the AWS 1 years, it's about 35%. With the Archera 30-day GRI, you can get a 30% savings rate. And with a 1-year savings plan, you can get a 25% savings rate. So what you can see here is that an Archera 30-day GRI can actually save you more than a 1-year commitment with an 11-month lower commitment. And it's great for migrations, companies with high seasonality, and just those short-term projects, for example, or being able to commit faster. So those days of having to right size first and then lock into a commitment doesn't have to be your reality anymore. You can say, all right, while we go and take the time to right size, we'll action some 30-day commitments where it's eligible, and then the automation will identify I've started right sizing, and it'll give back what's not being used and repurchase for me what I could be using to achieve greater and deeper savings. Next. So next up is, we are a free SaaS platform. So if you're curious about what you could save and how you could automate the whole process if you'd like, you can scan the QR code here. But yeah, we offer free savings analysis, free FinOps coaching, and no infrastructure changes. So yeah, would love to hear and talk to you. Any questions I can answer?
So you just do the reservation, like for example, 1-year commitment, you pay for it, not us, right?
Good question. So we offer a 1-year commitment. If you're comfortable with 1 year, you can definitely get a 1-year commitment through Archera. However, that'll get you deeper savings. Under the hood, what we do is all of our commitments are 3-year standard reservations. We add what we call our Archera protection to that commitment. So if you choose a 1-year term, on day 365, you can give it back, or you can keep using it if you identify you still like it. You don't need to auto renew or anything of that sort. It'll stay on your books for up to 3 years. However, if after year 1 you want to get rid of it, you can just click a button and do that. Or the automation can be on, monitor the RI utilization. If it sees it drops below the policies you put in place, it'll trigger a sellback.
And what about if we have an enterprise agreement and we have
yeah, good question.
Real prices
Good question.
Lower than with some of the CSPs?
Yeah, so we actually sit on top of your EDP. So this is complementary to that, and it'll help you get deeper savings. Andy on our team here is former AWS and can help you with any deeper questions around what that looks like, but it is compliant with your EDP and PPA.
Yeah, if you have the ability to buy commitments with your private pricing agreement, then we can layer our shorter term commitments on top. So you'll have your cross-service PPA at the top of your bill, and then when you get to the shorter commitments, those are stacked. So for customers like you that are like already in private pricing agreements, this is a really good way to like find more savings than you could natively on AWS. Okay.
Yeah.
I have a question, just to
Yeah.
understand how it works.
Sure.
So you said that under the hood you're buying 3-year commitments. Is this how, like on the previous slide, it showed that the 30-day commitment could actually save you more than the AWS
Correct.
year one? So this is how you
This
managed
is
to
how.
offer that, right?
This is how
Okay.
exactly. Yeah.
Maybe you can change to Spanish to make the question. It's difficult for me
Yeah.
to speak in English.
Okay.
I don't
No te
speak
preocupes, si
Ah.
quieres te traduzco y ya está.
Sean,
Okay.
I think, can help us a little
¿Me
bit.
translate? Ok, tengo varias. ¿Cómo gestionáis los cambios constantes que hay de precios, de recursos, de servicios, de tamaños?
Okay, so how do you manage all the changes in the services,
Yeah.
in the different pricing, in the new, releases from the different providers? How do you handle that?
Great question. So we're a partner of AWS. I'll talk to you. And you.
No.
Okay.
I understand, but I-
Sure. Okay. Sorry. So we're a partner of AWS. So for example, at reInvent last year, they released database services as a reservable service. So anything that is allowed to be reservable with the cloud providers, we can actually support as well. So if you are allowed to get a commitment with the cloud providers, we can insure it and take that risk off for you. Yeah. Mhm.
¿Más? Archera solamente se refiere a la parte de las reservas de 1 y de 3 años, o es una plataforma más grande?
Es una that's Archera, it's only the insurance, like the reserve and the commitment thing, or is it more, it's a bigger platform? Like do you have things more than...
Yeah, so we offer free visibility tools. So forecasting, we have some simple out-of-the-box reports you guys can leverage. We have budget tracking and things of this sort, free for you to use, as we only charge for the protected commitments.
Do you can show to the technical teams what is the cost, not daily cost of
Yeah.
the budget?
Mm, yeah.
With dashboard, like a dashboard.
Yeah, we have at the instance level.
Uh-huh.
Yes, we have a view, and it's completely free.
The other big area on
We
the-
can show you
from
on the
a
laptop
visibility on
later.
the platform too, when it comes to like the renewals of your native commitments.
Yep.
You can have full visibility into those commitments across all 3 cloud providers. So even if your teams are going to go buy more 3-year commitments that are native, that's going to be the best discount. You can do that through the platform, completely complimentary. So we have a lot of like teams that we buy, a majority of 3-year commitments, and then really use us for that last, 15 to 20% of their spend, where they're not comfortable making a 1-year or 3-year commitment. So really like from the tool itself, outside of like our commitments where we like charge, you can use this again for commitment management, looking at commitments across all 3 cloud providers. We really use this as like the one-stop shop to manage your commitments across all the hyperscalers.
But not only commitments, I believe that he was talking about reaching out the budget. If the budget is going near the budget that each team has,
You
daily
can
by
track.
daily or month by month?
A month.
Month.
Yeah.
Okay.
We can show you what it looks like, actually, if you're interested. We can pull it up.
Okay.
Yeah. So here's an example. So you can come in and create a view for each cost center, project, whatever it is. And then you can set a monthly budget. And then it'll show you, track the monthly cost for this. You can come to this page and view to see how you're tracking to that budget. And then you can take that view and you can actually go to the commitment planner. If you see you're tracking maybe to be above budget, you can apply that view and action some savings to help reduce that potential of going over budget.
So Wi-Fi's not loading, but
Wi-Fi
you see the
problems,
segments
yeah.
there, so you can separate again by your account ID. So let's say you have certain line of business owners that have their own sub-account or their account. You can filter in there, and then what this will show is our 30-day and 1-year commitments. And so that's ultimately like the ways that you can kind of slice and dice within your cloud environments, then also get recommendations. You can see it loaded there, but again, on like the 30-day commitments, 1-year commitments, we'll show where we can identify those shorter term commitments. And then again, we can segment by resource, by account ID. We have a lot of ways that you can set up different attribution for the teams.
And also we can upload our own tags for that.
Own tax? Okay, so you can do, so you want to upload additional costs. Is that what you want to do?
No,
No, I think that's done.
I was talking about tagging.
Yes, we pick it up. If it's tagged to your cost and the cost allocation tags, yes, it'll pick up. You can use your tags or any native dimensions to create these views. So if you have cost center tags, project tags, anything like this, it's all available for you to create.
What is the highest amount you save, guys, for a client?
I think VMware
From
would be our
dollar
biggest.
amount or from like percentage amount? I mean, like if you're at, we see customers that are sometimes like 0% rate optimized, and so those heavy compute customers can save 20 to 30% off those workloads that are keeping on demand. As far as like biggest size, I might pass it to you. Like,
I think VMware is probably big. If we're talking about annual savings, like over $1 million a year, yeah.
yeah, and we had one a major compute customer that was saving $100,000 a month by
Yeah.
moving to 30-day commits for their GPU workloads. So a lot of like the Gen AI startups coming out of like San Francisco that are super high compute spenders, like they're huge benefiters of this product because they can commit to a couple months without having to really take on that risk of that 1 year, 3 year commitment. Especially in the world of AI where new GPUs are coming out and this is the latest and greatest. Resources are popping up. They're leveraging our platform to save a big amount there.
I have a question.
Yeah.
So you said you can automate everything
Yes,
so it runs. If you do that, would that mean you reach 100%
you can.
commitments?
We have people who do have like 99%, yeah. And you can put your own policies. So if you don't want to go that high, you can definitely make sure you don't.
Yeah.
But if you prefer to, yes, we have people saving like 99% with us, yeah.
So you can see here, like within the plans, we can set that up and we can customize that. And then when it comes to the automation, we can say, hey, over, some customers it's $0, but over $1,000, we want to initiate that 30-day commitment purchase. The other element too is because we layer on top of a 3-year commitment, we can always change the term into a deeper term with our commitment. So let's say you buy a 30-day commitment for a workload where you're not confident to commit to that 1 year. We can move that to a 1-year commitment and lower our cost for the premium. In return, you guys are getting locked in for a longer term, but you have that flexibility to change that. And then ultimately, if you go, hey, this resource we're actually going to keep for that full 3 years, you can completely remove the Archera premium and just keep that native 3-year savings plan because we layer on top. So many times if you're just like testing the platform for the first time and you want to try a 30-day commitment, you're getting into a commitment without having to commit to that 3 years. But then again, that month 2, 3, 4, where you go, all right, we're actually ready to just leave this on for the next 3 years. You can remove the cost for us and then continue to just have that native savings plan.
Something I don't understand, like how this reflect on your AWS account or organization, like disappear on like the billing portal dashboard, something like that, or?
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. So from a billing perspective, you'll see the native commitment as a normal charge that you'll see the commitments now, and then you'll see the Archera premium. Because we bill through the cloud marketplaces, billing won't really change for you. We bill through all 3 cloud marketplaces. So all you're going to see ideally is your bill drop, and things won't have to change from a procurement side on your teams.
I need to see that in action.
Yeah, yeah.
We'd love to show you.
What about the cost of Archera?
Good question. So we only charge for what you're using. So if you're using any of our insured commitments, so commitments that have the risk protection, we charge you a percentage of savings as our risk fee in return. So if you're not saving anything, we don't charge you anything. So it's no risk, right? And so it varies based on the term length, the instance you're using. That savings rate that we take as our fee is anywhere from 20% to 49% of your savings. Yeah. And all of the savings you see in the platform are net savings, inclusive of the fee you pay to Archera. So those are the savings you should expect reduced from your bill.
And you mentioned that you are moving here, like to Europe region.
Yeah. Yes, we started within the last year, and Madrid has been a market that we found has been quite good for our business. So we're really focusing on Madrid right now.
So GRDB compliance and stuff, right?
Sorry, what is that?
It's like the Europe compliance for data storage and stuff.
Yes.
Yeah, the data sovereignty
Yeah.
and the EU sovereign cloud. So the good thing is because anything that's going to be spun up and you're spinning it up in the sovereign cloud, like it wouldn't, like we're not going to be in interference with that, because again, we're only really focusing on the financial side. And the same thing too, like you're using a consulting partner or somebody like that, and they're building in the sovereign cloud, we're not going to have an issue with covering those resources with our insurance. Because again, like the best way to kind of think about Archera as a platform is just an insurance platform, right? You know, because you can go buy a Ferrari, Mercedes-Benz, or a Honda, and then you can go put, you know, whatever insurance policy you want on it. So the same thing applies here with that. Another reason why we're growing here in Madrid is the AWS office. They have their big hub here, and so I'm the alliance director for the AWS side. So my job is to go work with the AWS folks. So that way, like when you go to your account managers, they already know about us. They already like trust our services, and it's a real easy kind of win-win for everybody. So it's been a great collaboration project. But I do understand that the sovereign cloud is important. So, but the good news is like we're totally okay with being a part of that. So.
Does anyone has more questions? ¿Tienen más preguntas?
No, para ellos no.
Okay.
Ya hemos empezado a hablar por aquí.
Vale.
Okay. No, me parece una
So,
herramienta. Lo digo, para ponerme en contacto con ellos, para preguntarle.
sí, ahora,
Vale,
o sea,
después lo hablamos.
so one thing, now that we finished the talk, so thanks for the...
Thank you. Thank you. Gracias.